Hello, hello. All right, Jordis. We got some special guests joining us today. A Man City fan, Piyush Bhai, and we had a game preview. And thanks to him coming with us for today. So let's talk on the Manchester City and Newcastle United match.
Hello, everyone. How are you? How are you doing?
Uh, hello, hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, bro.
So just a second. How are you, Bhai?
Yeah, I'm fine, bro. How are you? How are you? I've been
I'm
good.
good.
There have been better days, but yeah, I'm fine.
So how are you feeling about yesterday's game? What you have to say about it, or
I
take us
mean,
through the
by
emotion? Sorry, yeah,
yeah,
go ahead.
yeah. I don't know how to explain that game to you, bhai. I mean, it was really weird. Weird in a way that both the teams had their fair share of chances. Both of them were attacking beautifully. I think Newcastle, to be fair, were far better than what I anticipated in terms of going forward, and it had lot has to be done with the team selection that he put. And I think it was a beautiful game for the neutrals. By it had everything. It had all the emotions that one can feel. So one moment you're happy, the other moment you're sad. There were controversial decisions, if I may say so. There were good goals. There were scrapey goals, and jam-packed 90 minutes. Just what the Premier League is all about. And I enjoyed that game. To be fair, and yeah, beautiful. It was a wonderful game, and good for Newcastle fans as well. They got to see a beautiful game, and finally after so long, like I've been seeing most of their games. So you guys came really close against Liverpool. You guys came really close against Arsenal,
Arsenal, yeah.
and I think it was time that you defeat someone. Who is in the top six, and the happiness, that the sheer joy that we could see in the faces of Jordi is back uh, in Newcastle too, that is, and the happiness in Eddie Howe's face and the player faces. I mean, it was quite visible, and I'm really happy for you guys. Bhai. I know hard feel, matlab nothing. There's nothing wrong in admitting that the other team was better than us on that day, and they truly deserve to win that game. I'm not taking anything away from Newcastle. They did everything in their own power to win that match, and they ended up winning that game.
Yeah. So yeah, as we spoke on the game in the preview stream, Eddie Howe was in immense pressure. Like, so in during this international break, like there was a big time meeting going on. Like something has to change. And the ownership has told hierarchy, like we will not interfere. Like and you know a better thing, and we believe in you. And they don't listen the news, like because there was a news about sacking Eddie Howe. It's not going to work because we didn't still yet we didn't win any away fixture in Premier League as of now. So there was immense
Yeah.
pressure on him. And as we जब हम लोगों ने वो टीम बनाई थी, when we put Fabian Schär and all those guys, as at that time neither Lewis Hall and neither Livramento had like fitness news.
Yeah.
So he played them early. That's why Lewis Hall he had to leave the pitch yesterday, even though, but
Yeah.
Livramento played 90 minutes. But those two players changed the game of game dynamism
100%, bro. 100%. I think
because
credit must be given to him and the players who were called in early. I mean, even though they were not ready for the game, I think their mentality and their desire was quite visible from the game. They were up for the fight. They knew they had to perform the way they did, or else they wouldn't stand a chance. And just like we talked in the preview as well, bro. I think I said that to you. If you don't play Joe Linton in the midfield along with Tonali and Guimaraes, I think
yeah,
Man City would overrun you. And yeah, that is what happened. I think you need physicality, and Man City's one chink in their own armory is lack of physical player. I mean, players who have great physicality. So since we don't have Rodri, we lack physicality aspect. So any midfield with a Bernardo, a Foden, and a Cherky would always be dominated by players like Guimaraes, players like Joe Linton. When we played against, I think Villa, where we lost 1-0, I think the midfield had Kamara, the midfield had Onana. So I think the pattern is quite visible. If you have a very physical team against Man City and you have a set plan against them, you can control them, and this is what Eddie Howe did. And fair on all fairness, I think you guys did deserve that victory. Yeah,
Let me take a comment from Virat Kohal bhai. Hi, and he's having a message for you.
yeah भाई. पीयूष भाई, आप मेरी दोनों टीम्स हार गई. दोनों टीम्स कौन सी दोनों टीम्स है भाई आपकी? यू आर लिवरपूल एंड देन हु एल्स डिड यू सपोर्ट? विराट भाई, इफ यू हियर यू कुड आंसर. लिवरपूल आई नो, which is the other team do you support? Don't tell me that you were supporting City, or were you supporting Aston Villa? I don't know. He has a
Right.
message there, right? Leeds
Yeah.
leading 1-0 against. So is it Aston Villa and Liverpool or some other team you're telling about? Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, the thing is, like, I believe as of now the best winger in the league is Doku, or you can, like, for me, I think it's Doku. What he did against Liverpool was like, that was like insane, like that goal, and especially all throughout the tempo. But you see, Livramento nullified Doku. Like, Doku was not visible as much as like he was going through all season. So do you
Oh.
agree with that? I think like,
Yeah,
because
bhai, I don't want to be hyper critical on Doku. So I understand why this narrative would go on the internet and surface on the internet. But from what I saw and from what my understanding is, I think he still had a really good game. He created three or two chances. I think it was both. Just a second, bro. Just a second. I'll
yeah,
just. Yeah, so sorry, bro. So sorry. Yeah.
nice.
So I think I think he did what he was asked to do, bro. I think he created few chances. Yes, I would say he was not at his empirical best. He tried his stuff, but it wasn't working. And I think it is more to do with the entirety of that structure that Eddie Howe put. So if you saw the match, you must have seen when Newcastle didn't have the ball, their shape was 5-4-1. So five at the back, four in
For
midfield, and then
the
Voltemode alone. But
alone, yeah.
the most important thing to notice at that point was the gaps between all the three lines was so small that
Small. There was no gap. Yeah.
you almost forced Man City to take the ball on the outside, that is on the wings. And then on the wings you always had a cover up with, let's say, when Doku was playing, there was always a Gimeresh, always a Tonali and a
Mm.
Livramento, and
Liverpool.
also, yeah, also the entirety of the defense. So in that way, I think you control Doku, but I think control it wasn't only because of Livramento's performance, to which I think Livramento should be given a lot of credit because he won his duels as well. But I think it has more to do with the way the team was set up, and it was designed that way so that Doku is forced into that corner, and then it was up to Doku to create magical moments, which he unfortunately failed to do so in this game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Like, I agree. Like what you're saying. Like, if there's always an agenda, like place, like especially teams like Man City, like because like they have a money and blah, and all. Like, no, I'm not saying like Doku was like nullified as like he was useless or something, but like he was less visible. And you remember, if you remember, I asked you the same thing. What do you think? Like the same for the Haaland. Is Haaland is doing good, but the Manchester or like Newcastle United put better performance, or Haaland is average, or Haaland has been totally nullified. He's like very
So,
poor performance for you.
so, bro, me, I think Haaland also, to be fair, did what he always does, bhai. So he does not have the control. Like if you've seen any of my videos that I made on Haaland, I have emphasized this with data backing, where I have shown that this guy does not have the ball for even 2 to 7 minutes in his possession for the entirety of the game. He only has let's say around 10-12 touches a game. So he still ends up scoring goals. But sometimes I feel what happens is, I think he tried to be too cheeky yesterday's game, I thought he didn't give enough respect to, let's say, Malik Tao, or maybe Fabian Schär. He thought he could take them on, and which was his mistake. If you see the first action where he got the ball, and the way he attacked, I think he should have finished that chance. I mean, he should have gone on the left of the keeper, that is Pope, and then the goal was empty. But he wanted to chip Pope, which ended up having a wasteful chance. Then the other chance as well, where he came back, I think it was unnecessary what he was trying to do there. I think there was one moment where he had one on one with the other centre back, and he wanted to be too cheeky. So I think Haaland, had it been more clinical, Haaland would have scored 2 goals. But I thought it was his indecisiveness that led to his performance like that. But this is what I expect from Haaland. I don't expect Haaland to dominate the ball. I don't expect Haaland to, like, let's say, have 5 chances in the game. I expect Haaland to get 1 or 2 chances in the game, and his quality is that he finishes those 1 or 2 chances. And in this game, I think he failed to do so, and credit must be given to Newcastle, the way they handled him. Yeah.
Yeah, the exactly, like he had a really good chance, and I think it was credit to Pope. Like he took on his, I don't know if you remember, on his belly or kind of chest, like, and that chance must have been created easily.
Yeah, yeah, bro. And even I think I would certainly say that Pope had a beautiful game, because
Game,
I
yeah.
remember there were 2 chances where I think City should have scored. One was where I think Nico Riley turned the corner, and he dropped the ball in that space, and I in my live reaction said it is over. It's game
Yeah,
done and dusted. But
yeah.
the goal never went, because I had seen that action multiple times this season. And what I've always seen, that whenever Nico Riley is in such positions, he always drops back to Haaland, and Haaland always scores. But credit must be given to Pope for his reflexes, that with the way he saved that chance. And there was one more chance I remember. I think it was a header which he saved later on in the game. So if you count those two, or at least one inside the net, then whatever you might say, it just gets 2-2. So I think, yeah, a lot of credit has to be given to Pope.
Is I am lagging with you? Like,
I don't know, bro, but my screen is still good. I don't know if okay, if you don't mind, let me just check. Yeah, I'll just come back if you want, bro. I'll just come back. I'll just come back from the outside, so that it speaks, because in my screen it's still good.
okay, okay.
Yeah,
Let me see.
I'll just come back.
Something is wrong here.
No, I'll just come back.
Hello, hello. Uh, Arsenal or United fans can be best. Yes, yeah, because everybody is appreciating what Newcastle did without by, like, because they are getting clearance of points. And hello, hello, 007 RTIN. Hello.
Yeah, is it okay now?
Yeah, yeah, it's better. It's better. Like 100% good.
Sometimes it
Yeah.
happens with StreamYard, bro.
Hello, hello. Yeah. Uh, he's your regular subscriber, right?
Who? Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
Ritin bhai. Yeah, Ritin bhai
Written by,
is.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
He was waiting for the stream. Yeah. Thank you so much for tuning in. Uh, yeah. So, and Lewis Hall, like, as you said, like Joe Linton is must. Like when I told, like, I want Jacobs Ramsey, but
Yeah.
Joe Linton again proved like he's a too good of player to be removed. But the thing is,
Yeah.
he is good when there is a dynamic players behind him.
Agreed. Yeah.
Yeah, because
And
if
bro, I mean, one thing about Joe Linton and Gimeresh that we can, I think Gimeresh still is way ahead than Joe Linton for me in
yeah,
terms of holistically playing as a midfielder. But I think one thing that you can't take away from Joe Linton is the sheer passion that he has for that club.
yeah,
I mean, I have never seen that guy not play for the club against, at
Club.
least when he's playing against a big six team. You
Big
will
six.
always expect him to fight for those second balls, those pressure situations. And I mean, you need those players in your team. If you want to achieve certain things, you need certain players who to be villainous, certain players to be very hard. And I think he provides that stability to that midfield, bro. So I kind of like him in a way, because I appreciate what he does for Newcastle. He might not be liked by many, but I think what he does for Newcastle is very essential for them to win anything this season.
Yeah, yeah, I agree to the point because I have heard many times like the people who are not a Newcastle supporter, they say, I hate Joe Linton, bro. I hate because you would hate this kind of player if he plays against you. You will like
Yeah.
only like when he's playing for your club. Like something similar to Kukurea. Like people don't
Yeah.
like Kukurea at all, like this too. Yeah. So like just a moment. He say Nick Voltamara is next big thing in PL. What do you think about it?
I don't know, Kanish bhai. I would want your opinion on that. So, what did you see? Because what I saw was he had three or four clear
Three
cut chances, and he
chances.
should have finished at least one for me.
1-1. Yeah.
And those were not difficult chances. Let us address it like that. So, and to be fair, you on the preview mentioned this stuff, that he is a fox in the box, but he has a lot of let's say a lot of flaws as well in terms of his. He's not a developed product, and
Yeah.
I kind of thought that was what exemplified what you were saying in the preview, because yes, he gets into the beautiful positions where he can dominate the center backs, but I think he's not a finished product. And I think 1 or 2 years down the line, if he can remain consistent and he can work on his finishing, I think yes, he can be the next big thing in the Premier League.
Yeah.
I still feel he's still better than what Isak was when Isak joined Newcastle.
Join
So
the club.
Isak was also not good, not that good. We only remember Isak for his beautiful goals of yesteryears. But I remember when he joined Newcastle, people were not happy with this signing, because they had Chris Wood, and I think they had Ivan Tony as well back then. And Chris Wood was a wonderful servant of Newcastle United, because he provided them very important goals back in Championship as well, and when they came to the Premier League as well. And again, when Callum Wilson came, Callum Wilson was always the favorite player of, let's say, Eddie Howe. So he knew him from Bournemouth days. They went on this journey where Bournemouth came from Championship
Champ.
to the Premier League, and then he always stayed with that club until they did not renew his contract, and he came back when Eddie Howe called him. So we knew that Eddie Howe's favorite was always Callum Wilson, and Callum Wilson performed that way. So I would say in the initial stages, if you compare both the strikers, Isak and as well as Walter Mode, I think Walter Mode has had a better start. And I think if he can remain consistent and he can harness that ability of finishing and improve subtle changes in his finishing, let's say maybe a bit more in the corner or something like that. I don't even know the technical stuff that much, but just on the finishing aspect, I think yes, he can be the next big thing. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if I would be, maybe I would be wrong. What I believe is also he had, because I think it's his first game against Big Six. It was his first game against Big Six. So I
Yeah.
think he had a kind of that pressure too. Like, and especially when you have like goalkeepers like Donnarumma on the net.
Yeah.
So because all the goals he have scored, I'm no disrespect, but it's not a big clubs like what, and so you don't have that quality in the net too, right?
Fair. Bhai.
So I think that was it. But yeah, for sure he must have at least one, like one goal. But he had, if you would see the chances, if he should have scored hat trick.
Yeah, 100% by. But
Yeah,
I would really want to know your opinion on with the way City approached that game. Bhai. What did you see? What did you like? What did you think that City lacked in that game? If you want to have a say on that as well, if you can.
yeah, yeah. So I think first 17 to 18 minutes, City was all over. Like Newcastle was nowhere in the game. This is my observation. And if you look, like I was not at the home watching. I was watching in the bar, as I told you. So like everybody was saying the same thing. Like Newcastle was not visible at all. Like in first 18 minutes. After 18, let's say first 20 minutes later, Newcastle start growing in the game. Like by the halftime, it was all about Newcastle, no, nothing about the City. I don't know
Yeah.
if you agree with that.
I
And
have a contrary view, but I'll let you complete. By
okay,
I'll let you complete. Yeah.
like because I saw like all the maybe the City was playing too high line at that time, first 20 minutes.
Yeah.
So I was looking at all the time. The City was always on the final third in the Newcastle, and all the ball was all around there. And I saw maybe one or two times on the initial when the match started, like Harvey Barnes with the spill of Donnarumma.
Hmm.
That goal that either maybe in the first 5 minutes they would be in goal, right?
Yeah.
And so I was trying to find that. That is why I asked you about the Doku and Haaland. I thought like I was scared of Haaland because you know the form he is in this season, and I was expecting only if Malik Thiaw like perform goods, and I think he was really reasonable to get hold of him. And we talk about it like watch out for this player like
Yeah.
Malik Thiaw. Like I think
Yeah.
he's a man of the
Yeah.
match, or either it's Harvey Barnes. But for me, like he's the signing of the season, Malik Thiaw.
Yeah.
Like better than Walter Mara. People saying Walter Mara, but like the price we got him. Anyways, for the City, like I don't know. I don't have much to say, like because I didn't look in the prism of how City is playing. I
Yeah.
wasn't like how the Newcastle is going. For the first 20 minutes, I feel like oh no, it's not the same. Like we are not going good enough. And by the halftime, I was happy with the performance. And the moment they scored at the 64 minute, then I was with some people. Then I was scared like is City gonna score again, and then we're gonna concede the equalizer. And after 2 minutes, I think the it was Ruben Diaz, the Shar. It was Shar who couldn't protect. So when Ruben Diaz scored, I said, "Okay, here we go again. We're gonna concede and we're gonna lose this match." But like
Yeah.
that Harvey ones were really good. Like he finished really good. So this is all what I have to say. Like you can tell me like what you had a contrary point about it.
So from if you see from my prison, I thought for first 30 minutes Newcastle were very good, bro. I
Okay.
thought Newcastle had us on the ropes. Yes, we did have two chances. I would admit one the Haaland chance, and I think one more which fell into Foden's lap. And there was one close penalty shout out as well, to which I thought was a pen. But yeah, I kind of don't want to get into that because I have seen those not given as well and given as well. So I'm not going to take anything away from Newcastle. Newcastle were not to be blamed. It was the referee. But uh, from where I saw, I thought for the first 30 minutes, I think City were lackluster. And for a brief period, like let's say from 31st minute till like let's say 40th minute,
Yeah.
we had a little bit of control. But again, Newcastle kept on fighting us. And in the second half as well, I thought when Newcastle came up with the plan, they knew how to press City. So for example, initially, if you go back and see the match, in the first few minutes, Newcastle were pressing really hard on City. They wanted to press City as much as they can, and what ended up happening was City with just one long ball opened the entire defense, and Haaland was one on one against Pope, which he missed, by the way.
Yeah.
Then again, Eddie Howe realized that this is not the way he should be playing at St James's Park, because they would it is only it was only going to take one or two chances before Haaland finishes that chance, right? So what he started doing was he subconsciously told both Barnes as well as who was playing on the right, I think
Murphy.
Murphy. So he told both Barnes, Murphy, and Voltomade, the front three, to press only when City was trying to build up from the back. Let's say when Donnarumma had the ball at his feet, they were pressing really high because they wanted to cut those angles, and they were forcing Donnarumma to kick the ball up so that they backed Joe Linton as well as Tonali, and even Share for that matter, to win the first hand duel, right?
Yeah.
And which kept on happening, and City had no clue as to how to break that thing, how to build up from the back. And that is where I thought City missed the trick. City should, but for the first half, I thought we were bullied. I think it could have been 4-2 or maybe 4-1 the score line, because you guys, whenever you turn over the ball, and a lot has to be done with what Cherki was doing. I think Cherki was, even though he had a very good game, but he has to choose his moments, man. He can't just flick on every time he gets the ball. You lose the ball in key areas, and then everyone is under the pressure. So I thought whenever Newcastle turned over the possession, they were very quick, they were very decisive. They knew they had to release Barnes, they knew they had to release Murphy, and they were up for it. And City were always chasing Newcastle back at the back post. And I think it was only that they could not finish those chances, or else I think they could have scored 4 goals, right? That is what I think in the first half. And in the second half, I thought when they came back, I think they were told to be a little bit more patient when they get those chances, so that you can finish. But I have to give credit to Harvey Barnes for both the goals. I mean, the first one was really good. I think I was
Very
expecting him to
clinical.
score even before, when he missed that open chance. But the
Yeah,
second, the goal that he scored in the second half, I think it was beautiful. But the second goal, to his credit, it was almost uncontrollable, that ball, but
yeah,
he controlled, and then he put it on the net. So
I,
it was a brilliant team effort from Newcastle. I think Gimaresh and I think Joe Linton and even Tonali ran themselves to the ground. They were pressing City. They were not letting anybody have the ball, and they were running up and down. A lot of credit has to be given to them boys as well. So a holistic team effort. They knew if they score one goal, it is almost impossible for City to score the other. City were fortunate to get that Diaz goal. I feel so, because it was against the run of play. City stopped creating chances when we got the goal,
yeah.
and Newcastle credit, Newcastle didn't bog down from that pressure. Newcastle came back, and the first opportunity that they got, they scored the second goal, and then they knew that this City team, if they can control the midfield, they won't be able to score the second goal. They won't be able to equalize, and everyone from Malik Tiao to Shah to even Botman, Hall, and what Livramento, everyone back at the back alongside Pope. They had a beautiful game. They had a beautiful plan, and it was executed perfectly for me.
Yeah, I was more than happy the moment I saw the the team sheet. I was like, okay, Hall and Livramento, like because I was feeling like okay, the as we talked in the preview, like no, we would not have a dynamism, and maybe this match the Newcastle will try to take just 1 point if they can, otherwise they will. I had
Yep.
expectation either City 2-1 or maximum 1-0. That's all.
Yep.
But it was a really good game, and I'm really happy like what Barnes did. Like he finished the chances, so it's a healthy competition among the team, right? He's playing at the
Yep.
left. When Anthony Gordon comes in, he would be in the pressure because Anthony Gordon is good in the Champions League. Like I think he had a 4 goals as of now,
Yeah.
four, but he's not doing anything as of now in this season for the in Premier League. So he has
Yeah.
to step up. It's a healthy competition, and what Anthony Gordon is doing, he's a missing in the final third. The chances he's because
Mm.
he's a good runner. He goes there, but he doesn't make any chances. But it is a good healthy competition as we talk, and also like what you talk about the midfield, like the three all through masterclass. Like they control the midfield. I think if the Rodri would have been there, maybe it was the result would be otherwise. What do you
No,
think?
bro. I don't think so. I
No.
think it cannot be. I mean, it never depends on a single player. So I'm going to admit it. Like, I have no shame in admitting it, that Newcastle were a better team. They were more prepared, and that is what I expect from Eddie Howe's team. I mean, I don't expect an easy game, and at least at St James's Park, be and I knew they're going to have a set plan against Man City, and it was matter of moments for me. So Rodri or no Rodri, or let's say De Bruyne or no De Bruyne or anybody, I don't think it makes much difference, because the way your team was set up, the way they performed, they were going to perform irrespective. So I am not one of those person who would say, yeah, agar Rodri hota to aisa ho jata, waisa ho jata. I don't feel. I think Nico Gonzalez, to be fair, had a fairly good game.
He
He
had a
won
good game, yeah.
crucial duels. Yeah, yeah, he did his job. So I can't blame him. I can't blame any individual player. If I have to be very critical, I would just say that even though we were not the better team that game, we had enough chances to at least get a point from Newcastle. But we were so miserable in finishing those chances that we ended up not scoring a single goal from, let's say, a proper creation. So the one goal that we scored was a very scrapey goal, that too from almost a dead ball situation. So yeah.
Okay, just ball to hold. Hello, hello, and
Hello,
he's
Akshit
saying
bhai. Hello, hello. How are you? Hello. Yes,
hopefully
bhai,
justice.
बिल्कुल. We need that justice, yeah, bhai. We need that justice. But I don't hope. I hope, but I don't think Spurs have it in to get that result against Arsenal. If they do, I mean, I would be the best, happiest person alive.
Yeah, I'm getting like all the people who know me, like they were texting me, thanks to Newcastle, thanks to Newcastle for men's, because I think all of them were Arsenal supporters. I don't know
Yeah.
how they're gonna. What do you think about that fixture? We're gonna just a quick. Yeah.
So, bro, I don't know, man. I mean, I am not interested in that fixture, and I'll tell you why I'm not interested, because I don't see football like that. I only see matches which interest me, and I have no interest in what Arsenal are doing. what I wanted to what I wanted City to do was to have a good run, so that we can have enough pressure when the crunch moment comes, for us to seize that moment, and we kind of let ourselves down in that way. But I am not critical of this Man City team. So if anybody is expecting any rants or any, let's say, head loss moments from a Man City fan, I am not the one. Please don't watch me, because I am not going to talk shit about my team when my team played really well. And I'm going to admit it, that it was Newcastle's brilliance that led to that victory, and I'm going to celebrate it like that, because I have seen this team play beautiful football and then also lose those games. So
Yeah.
yesterday we did well. The only thing that we were not doing well was finishing those chances which we created. In every game we only create 3 or 4 chances, but such has been our record that those 3 or 4 chances end up getting into the net.
Net,
But
yeah.
this game, Newcastle were very good. I think a lot of credit has to be given to the coach, the players, and the fans as well. I told you, bro. Once the first goal gets in St
Gets it.
James's Park, that place just bounces,
But
and you just know that you cannot control that ground, no matter what you do. Even if you get the goal, they won't shut up. They would still shout, and that is what happened that game. Even though Diaz scored that goal, we had no clue as to how to control now. And I think a lot of credit has to be given to Newcastle. So any team who is going to come to St James's Park would understand that it is a very difficult ground to win, and that is why their record is what it is. Right? They've won 6 games now, consecutive games at St James's Park, and I hope long may it continue, bro. Because I really like Newcastle.
yeah, yeah, and also like it's a first time, and yeah, as we talk, like New St James Park is, I think, one of the most hostile ground for away team. One of the most, and
100%.
moment if
100.
the home team scores, like the crowd gets over you. Like you
Yeah.
have to be a thick-skinned team, I guess. And I saw. Do you agree? I saw in my life first time. If you watch after the when the match finished, like Pep Guardiola, he was like really angry on the referee, and he was having a tough time with Gimaresh too. I saw him first time in those sense.
Yeah. No, I have seen him enough by, but to be fair, yeah, Kanish bhai, I think referee was horrendous, and nothing
Yeah,
to take away from Newcastle and the Newcastle fans in that victory. And I'm going to be the first person to admit it, and I've said it many a times that it was Newcastle's brilliance that led to their victory, and I don't want to taint it with this refereeing decision. But for me, that was one of the most horrendous referee that I've ever seen. Even the commentators during the match said the referee must have missed out on the yellow card, because he might have left it on the back pocket and dropped it in the washing machine,
yeah,
because it was that bad, bro. And you can't let a team foul so much and not give them warning. So yes, I appreciate what Newcastle were doing. I understand what they were doing. I mean, not appreciate, I understand. They wanted to be physical, and they were physical. They were doing their part. It was now referee's job to protect those players.
yeah,
But he just kept on allowing Newcastle players to get those fouls, and I kind of got irritated at a point where I thought, what is this referee doing? What is he waffling? Again, the penalty decision as well. I thought the first one, I think it was a pen. The Foden one, I think it doesn't matter whether you have touched the ball 1 second, yeah, half a second earlier. You can't just smack someone in the box. So that was penalty for me, which was not given. It's okay, it happens. But the second one, that was more controversial, the goal that Barnes scored.
yeah. The
So the
war.
visuals that yeah the visuals that what they were showing us on the television were entirely different to what they showed on the animation. And my problem with this stupid system is that I don't trust them enough. I don't know what they were showing, because anybody who has seen the match and the visual that it was showing from the point it was touching the head of Gimaresh, it matlab he looked offside, not Barnes. I think Gimaresh. He looked offside when Diaz. I think lines were drawn as well. If they could have drawn the line back, then I would have understood if it is. But they took that time out. They decided without even drawing the lines, and then after a little bit of animated video came out where they were saying he had a flailing arm outside, which I didn't understand because I don't trust that system. But again, I'm just not going to taint that, and I'm not going to say it is because of that City lost and Newcastle won. No, City were losing it anyway. City were not winning that game. The best we could have done was get a draw. But it just doesn't sit well with me when refereeing are so involved in this match. You have to be held responsible for the stupidity that you do, which is what I think Pep was addressing back then. But I think, yeah, we move on, bro. I'm not going to waffle too much about it. I know the next match is against Leeds and we have to move on, we have to focus on the Premier League. And I'm not that kind of a person who holds grudges against referees and VAR, but I had to address it because I felt, while I was watching, I thought it's okay. The technology shows that it's not an offside. It must not be an offside. But what happened afterwards, when I went on Twitter, when I went on to see other people's reaction, everybody felt the way I felt, and that is where I think the jury is out with the referee and the VAR. But it's okay, bro. It happens, so it's okay.
For me, I think the pen decision. For me, I think it was a pen because, let's say, it was a foul, right? They given the Shar at a foul, right?
Yeah, I
A-
think they gave Shah. Yeah.
And it was in the box. So if it's a foul and it's in a box, it has to be a pen, right?
Yeah, they were of the opinion that the ball had already left the leg, and I don't understand what was that logic. The ball had already left the leg. What do you mean by that? You can't just slide onto a player while he is in the motion, while he's in the box, he's attacking your goal. And I don't, that is why, bro, I don't want to get into those debates. I think you asked me what Pep was doing, and I think that is
Yeah.
why I answered. I thought
Yeah.
he was addressing the cameras, that referee decision was horrendous, and I think he made it clear that he should not have said that. But I think on the heat of the moment, I think everybody is allowed to have
Yeah,
their
everybody
opinion.
has a right to convince, how you to show their what they're feeling, right? If they're not happy what's going on. And like
Yeah.
I just ask you, like, because I never saw him like that. Like, for me, I think it was maybe either it was against Newcastle, and the first
No,
time
no,
I observed.
it happened with Liverpool as well, bhai. So I remember there was one game at Anfield back in 2021, the year they won the league,
Okay.
2020, and so we were playing them, and they were like 11 points or 13 points, something they were ahead of us, and we had to win that game in order for us to compete for the league. It was, I think it was January or something like that, and we went there. There was an handball with Trent Alexander-Arnold, and it was quite visible. It was hand. He himself knew it was hand. Referee didn't give it a penalty. City players stopped the game because they thought he would whistle at least to go and check with the VAR. But what happened was City players stopped. The ball went to one Liverpool player. They moved it into transition, and just few seconds later, like 10-15 seconds later, Fabinho scored the goal. So City players were complaining. One, that was a penalty that you didn't give. Second, when we stopped, you should have blown the whistle.
Whistle,
But
yeah.
and that after that he just lost it. Pep just lost it. He went on to the referees. I remember one game again against Liverpool in the quarterfinals of the Champions League, where I think we were hard done by. He went to the referees mid game, like the half time, and referee gave him a red card. So after the half time, he was sitting in the stand. I remember one game against Lyon or some other team in the Champions League as well, where he was banned. So when he came back, the season after, the first game he was sitting on upside, and there have been various games where he has lost his head, and I don't blame him, by because I kind of felt that he was well within his right to complain about the referee and the decision that happened that game. Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, when yeah, I agree. Like, for me, it was the first instance, and then yeah. So just like we can wrap up soon. So just what do you think about the quality check, like title race check? Like, what do you think? Still enough for it? Because the
Yeah, yeah.
one game you lose, oh, they're out.
No, bro, I don't believe it's the case. I think I still feel it is foolish of anybody to think that title race is over or City are out, or let's say I wouldn't have counted Liverpool out as well. But yesterday's game was a proof that Liverpool are not the Liverpool that I know of. This is not the Liverpool. Even if they would have salvaged a point, I would have said, yeah, they're back. But they're just looking a different team. They are not in the title race. I would agree that. But City are not that team. So yes, we lost that game, but people are going to lose games away. This is how the Premier League is designed, right?
Yeah,
Newcastle are no mug. Newcastle is not a Burnley that you go and just do whatever you want to do. Newcastle is Newcastle. It's a top six team. On their given day, they can defeat anybody, and that you have to take that into account. So when a team is going away with a big fixture, I wasn't expecting a City win, like let's say we are going to win definitely. I told you in the preview as well, by if they do not play Joe Linton, Tonali and Gimenez,
yeah,
then City are going to win it. I was
100%.
sure about it, because then we would have ball and you would have just run around the ball. But I knew that that physical midfield can always dominate technical players with likes of Bernardo, Foden, and Cherky, and this is what they did. And that is why I think even if we lost that game, and even if we are 7 points behind them, it's only 12 games. So there are,
Yeah,
we
it's a
have to go till 38 games. I
38
know
game.
there will be blips. We're going to lose even more games after this. It is not going to happen that we're going to win every game from here on. But so would Arsenal and so would other teams. So we just have to have a, a distance which is catchable. And for me, anything under 9 points is still doable for Man City. That is what I would say.
Yeah, because I think, do you agree with that? It's a potent call. Like it seems like, oh, now they're going to start and then little off, on and off kind of season for you. Do you agree with that?
Uh, I don't know, bro. I don't see like that because I've seen this team for so long that I instantly know when they have switched it on. So for me, it was the Arsenal game, the Arsenal away game where we drew 1-1. And even though we should have felt bad because we played so good that game, we didn't end up with 3 points. I knew what players was thinking, the way they celebrated with the crowd, the way Pep celebrated with the crowd. I knew that these players believe what Pep is selling them. I know they know what is to be done in order to achieve the goal, that is the ultimate goal, that is winning the Premier League. And since then, yes, we have played a lot of games. We have lost only one game prior to Newcastle. That was Aston Villa's game, which we deserved to lose, by the way. So I'm not taking anything away from Villa. I'm not going to take anything away from Newcastle. So any team, let's say Arsenal, when comes back to your ground, yeah, whenever any team who is in title race comes to Aston Villa, comes to Newcastle, comes to Palace, they're going to find it difficult. And it is only matter of luck. If you get those points, you get those points. But to be fair, Newcastle were very good, and there will be teams who will be good against us, and we're going to struggle as well. But I know so would Arsenal, and so would any other team who's in this league would struggle. So yeah, I'm just hoping that this week we have dropped points. Maybe this week or maybe some other week. Arsenal would drop points, and we have chance to capitalize. So yeah, I'm okay with it, bro. I'm not into that title thing, Abibi. It's way too early for me to think like that.
Yeah, because since yesterday Chelsea won it and they are on the second, like, oh, it's in for
It
Chelsea
doesn't
too.
matter. It doesn't matter, bro. It doesn't matter. I think even Chelsea fans, if they think that they're going for the title and they're going to win the title, I think they're sadly mistaken, bro. I don't see the title winning squad with them, and I don't see the manager that can. I don't see Enzo Maresca taking them to the title. Maybe some other manager might, but not Enzo. So yeah. Even though a few days back, Sunderland were on the second position. So would
Yeah,
we have said that for Sunderland as well, or what? Ki Sunderland are going to win the title? No. So I know the context is very big. The league is such that every game week it is going to fluctuate like that. So it's okay. There's no problem.
that's a beauty of Premier League because it's not certain. Any team can beat any team on their given day.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is why like people choose to tune in for Premier League. So do you think you need some squad refresh for this coming winter transfer, or you need some
Mm,
players, specific players?
no, I wouldn't say. So ideally, I would always love, and so sorry for you, Ganesh, but I would really love a Livramento in
Yeah,
the City squad, but I know that is not a possibility right now. And apart from that right back position, I don't see City signing anybody because a lot of players have to come back still from injury. So let's just say Marmoush just came back, right? Rodri is going to come back. Kovacic is going to come back. So a lot of City players who are the backbone of this team are going to come back. So John Stone is going to come back, and we have enough cover in almost every position except for the right back position, which I feel we have still found a way in Nunes and Kusunov and even Rico for that matter. So for games where we know we can dominate the other team in the cups and everything, we'll always play a Rico Lewis ahead of anybody else because he's very good at ball playing. He's very good at inverted role. But we need when we need someone very physical who can take on a very good winger, then we'll have a Kusunov or we'll have a Matthias Nunes always for a cover. So ideally, I would love a player like Livramento. But I know it is not going to happen. So I don't think City are going to sign anybody this January. Unless an injury occurs and they're forced to sign someone, I don't see them signing anyone.
yeah. For us, I would say we need because I don't think so. Livermento is going anywhere at least for next 6 months because now it
Yeah.
is proven. The moment the fullbacks tuned in, you see the results, right? And
Yeah.
now, until now, it was the first time I think Since last season, I at least since last 10 months, it's the first time in a while. I would say, maybe I would be wrong. Maybe there would be one or two game here and there. It was first time when Livermento and Hall played together, and for this season, it's given like it was the first time when those two guys played together in a single match. And you
So
see
who
the
played in the first game? At the opening game, who played against Villa? I think they were not playing together.
Hall was not fit either that time. Like Livermento
Okay.
was playing. Livermento got injured in games against Arsenal.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
Okay.
and Hall was not fit.
Trippier, I
So
remember Trippier was playing. Trippier on the
yeah,
right back and Livramento on the left back, right?
and
Or for that game only. Because I remember he was doing those overlapping runs with Barnes or
yeah.
Gordon. Gordon was playing as a nine. Barnes was on the left. So yeah, I remember. Yeah,
So and also, so that is why maybe Newcastle will think the moment our main players are in, we see the difference. The team is back to what they design or what how they the way they play, right? They played actually how they're supposed to play, right? What Newcastle is known for, right? Too much
yeah,
physical, overlapping runs, and get
yeah.
so playing making the wingers in the game. And but what they are lacking is they need a striker, which is Visa as of now, to get like the service from wingers and just put that in net, like what they were doing with Murphy with the Isak, the stuff. So moment
Yeah,
Visa are gonna come back, the team will look more better than that. And
agree.
I have said in my shorts before, like people say at the same thing, Eddie Howe needs to go. I don't think so. Eddie Howe needs to go. Eddie Howe is there. What Newcastle is now, and especially let's say for me, what I start following Newcastle because maybe it's a results what Eddie Howe has produced, right?
100%, 100%. I think people who are of the opinion that Eddie Howe must go, they don't have any understanding of what how and what Newcastle are all about. They are not going to sack him. They know what that guy means to this club, and this guy also loves that club that much. So I don't see any misunderstanding. I don't see anything. Yes, people always would want to fix something which is never broken.
Broken,
That is
yeah,
the tendency. That is the tendency of people around it. But I think everybody in Newcastle knows what Eddie Howe is for them, and Eddie Howe knows what he is for Newcastle. They must have told him that don't worry, you are secure. Because I remember uh, the way this transfer window was handled by him was beautiful. By the way, he was under so much pressure.
and
Every
he was
press conference you see, whether
yeah,
Isak is staying or not, people are bombarding questions, and he never said anything bad about Isak or
Isak,
anybody who left. Yeah, he was like, yeah, he's our player, he's going to stay, he's our player. Everybody knew what was happening backstage. Even when Isak came up with that stupid
the
thing
statement when
at the
yeah,
PFA, yeah, at the PFA, that he
yeah,
is feeling so and so, which I don't agree with. Even if you were feeling like that, I think you should not be dissing, because fans had nothing to do with that. You
yeah,
directly put a target on the fans. You directly put the target on, let's say, your own teammates,
yeah,
people who have made you what you are right now. If there were no support from people like Gimaresh, people like Murphy, people like Gordon, would you have scored that many goals? No. So you indirectly put everybody at jeopardy. So you should not be doing that. Even there are other ways to do. You would have always gotten your transfer. This is what I believe, because
yeah.
I think Newcastle understood that this player does not want to stay here,
Stay here.
and they were only hoping that they get his replacement before they let him go,
Yeah,
which I think, I don't know if they got or not, but I think they knew that this player is going. He shouldn't have been doing what he did. And even then, Eddie Howe had no bad words for him. He'd never had any sour grapes for him, and and he just handled it beautifully. And I know everybody in Newcastle appreciates him like that.
yeah. Like Chinese will need more views. Okay, thank you so much, Virat by Kohil. I thought it's Kohli. Yeah. So I think I told you on the preview or not. Like just a week ago, the PIF, the Saudi ownership, has made it clear we're gonna step back. We believe in the hierarchy. We believe in the hub.
Yeah,
You have your we have your backing. You are not going anywhere. Like they have made it clear,
yeah,
and that is
yeah,
why he's included in the Hall of Fame for Newcastle. Now,
yeah,
last week he was included in Hall of Fame, so it's a big thing, right? So it shows like ownership is saying you're going nowhere, and they have settled down the rumors. Because even let's say if I would anybody would be manager, but they know, right? They are not getting results, so like it's a matter of time. Like 3 weeks or a month ago, there was a same thing. Amorim needs to go, and
yeah,
Arne Slot is going nowhere. It doesn't matter because they are getting results. Now the whole narrative is other way around, right? Amorim is
yeah,
going nowhere, and what you see what's happening since yesterday for the Arne Slot.
yeah.
So
Beautiful.
yeah, thanks to the ownership, like they're settling the dust down and making it clear he's going
And
nowhere. And he had,
and Kanish bhai, you have to give them credit like that. So
yeah,
even when they took over, they were very vocal as to what they were going to do. They were following the model, I think, in a way that City did for the first initial years. They didn't want to go for, let's say, the marquee signings. They wanted to get those players which were just uh, let's say mid-table teams. So they understood that it is a long-term project. So they were first competing against likes of Brighton, Brentford, and everybody in the mid-table team. So they bought players of that profile. Once they got settled into that their groove, then they started buying young talents, and then they started buying some beautiful players that everybody wanted, and they ended up having few of them. So I think their plan has been very clear since the beginning. They know what they're doing. They trust the process. I think Amazon made a documentary on Newcastle as well, right? I
yeah,
don't know
you
if
told
they
me, yeah,
made. Yeah, so
Newcastle, yeah, yeah, for the Newcastle, yeah. I
yeah,
thought you were saying Man
yeah,
City, yeah, but
no,
Newcastle, there's a,
Newcastle. So I saw that. I saw certain snippets of that documentary. I have not seen the enough where I think they were when they were chasing Anthony Gordon, that transfer saga.
yeah, from Everton,
And the
yeah,
way the way they handled it. So they knew it, Everton are not going to sell him because he was a big player at Everton, but they knew how to approach Everton, how to systematically take him out of their possession. And they were beautiful. And yeah, I know they I know, because let's just say, I also have a similar mindset of ownership. So these people might have a different perception about these owners, but these owners are very good at heart. And I good things are going to come for Newcastle as well. Bhai. I know it is going to happen.
yeah, because it's the same thing, like what oil money and this, that, and the thing is, because since it doesn't matter what kind of money they have, but they are not they're, what the thing I like is, as you say, they have a long-term vision. It's not, oh, here, nothing like that.
Yeah.
Like, I think it has to, something is similar. The American ownerships might do that, so because they
No,
look for the
no.
quick results.
Yeah.
So yeah,
100%.
and Eddie Howe had his first win against Pep yesterday. It was, I think
Yeah.
it was 19th meeting, and it was his first win. So, or I don't know if it was 17th, or maybe.
Truly deserved. By there have been few games I remember we should have won. So the 3-3 that we I remember, the Saint Maximum Wala game, even the 3-2 that City won 2 years back. I think they played beautiful. Isak and Gordon scoring those wonderful goals, curling from the outpost to the
Yeah,
inside. So there have been various games where I thought he should have gotten the win, but he was always very unlucky. And it was long deserved. And I think cheers and congratulations to him as well.
yeah. So yeah, please. I think all of the viewers are your viewers. Already have subscribed you, but since if somebody's watching, nobody subscribed, Piyush Bhai, please go and subscribe and like Wise or otherwise. So I have little question. It's Wise or Wise otherwise.
So the name of the channel was Wise and Otherwise.
Okay.
So I named it because I think, I mean, it's just a wordplay on my own personality. So let's just say Otherwise is my alter ego. So
Okay.
I try to be wise as much as I can, but there are few moments where I lose my head and I turn into Otherwise.
Okay.
So it is a wordplay on my alter ego and what I think I am. And again, it is a tribute to one of the most beautiful books that I read uh, back. It is tribute to Mrs. Sudha Murthy ji. She wrote a book, and that title of the book was Wise and Otherwise. It is one of my favorite books, so it is a homage to that as well, and it has to do with this wordplay again. The word it's very catchy. So once you read about that word, na, you will always remember. So even if you if e- even if I tell this to anybody, they would know what, मतलब they would remember the name. So a lot of थोड़ा सा marketing gimmick भी है, and lot of stuff, lot of thought was put into that. But what happened was, when I wanted to create the handle was very long. So
Yeah.
people told me that while when you add those words in the title, the space is almost over. So most of the people never added me. So they told me to shorten it down. So I
Okay.
made it Wise, and then Otherwise ko I made an O,
Oh,
and
okay.
then Wise. So yeah.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
Otherwise, Wise, O Wise. Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, I was confused. Like I was putting like, what should I put in? So yeah, thank you so much for clearing out, and please like and subscribe, Piyush Bhai, and like,
Um,
to be honest, really thank you so much for like fair play you coming and keeping it real, and respect to Man City. I hope they bounce back, and we expect from Pep's team, right? Like you never know what he will bring from his hat, right? Next thing,
Yeah.
because he was playing something different yesterday. I don't know. I felt it was a little different than his style, right? Because for initial
I
he was playing
Yeah.
high line, and like in initial time he was playing too high.
Yeah.
Usually you
So
think he
I
goes
think I
low
think
and
I think, bro, I think it was what Newcastle were doing more than what Pep wanted to do. I think Newcastle had a set plan, and he knew if he does not hold the line, then they're going to press us to the stands. So he wanted all the Newcastle players to be as far away from the goal as possible, and that is why he wanted to have that hold. But you're quite right on your assessment as well. So traditionally he wouldn't, this season he wouldn't want to hold that high line, because he knows our center backs, even when Guardiola is playing, we lack pace. So any ball which is through ball, our center backs would be beaten on the pace. So that is why we were giving, so we conceded so many chances. But he was scared that if he does not hold the line very high, you guys would press us, and then it would be very difficult for us to get the ball to your goal. So it was tactical in a way, because he was reacting to what Eddie Howe was doing for me.
okay. So thank you so much, Piyush Bhai, for tuning in,
Arre, no,
and
no.
I hope for us, for Newcastle, we get on the road and get the first win next week. We are playing
Yeah.
Everton.
Be-
So
I hope that too, bhai. But before that, I think anybody who's watching this, or anybody who's going to watch this later, please do subscribe to Indian Jody, bhai. He is doing a fairly good job. He's building a community of Newcastle fans as well as, and he deserves every support that he can get. So anybody who's watching this, please subscribe to his channel. Please like the stream as well, because it's very important. I mean, important in a way that it helps the video, it helps the algorithm push the video. So do that for that purposes, not for any other purposes, but please do it. And yeah, I mean, long may it continue. I really hope Newcastle get back to where they were, like, let's say 2 or 3 seasons back, where everybody was fearing them.
yeah,
And yeah, so I think that it's a very big moment for them as well, because now they have the momentum, now they have the belief that if they can take down a team like City, they can take down anybody. And that is what football is all about. It is always about momentum for me as well.
yeah. So Kohil Bhai is sending a multiple message like, what if free kick scored by Morgan Rogers and lead scoring again? Have you tuned in the TV for this match or no?
No, no, bro. So this is like my day off today. So it's
Okay,
Sunday, and so me and my wife, we have made this rule that we both are not going to do any work on Sunday, so that
okay,
we could spend time with each other. Every day she has to go to the court for her judgeship, and then I make everything that I do. I do my freelancing lawyers wala job, and I do create content. So a lot of time has to be invested in these two. And when she gets home, I'm always on the live streams with some of the other person, or I'm holding a live stream, so we don't get that time. So we have made sure that we are not going to spend anything. We are not going to do anything. But I thought I promised you, and you were very gracious when I asked you to come to my channel. So I thought, why not? I think I can just take out 1 hour of my time and be here when you need me. Yeah.
thank you so much. Now like you put me in little pressure, so sorry if I made
No,
you
no,
feel
no, bro. No, 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 no. I mean, not at all, bhai. It's just what I felt about. So, if had I felt something weird, had I felt something not real, I wouldn't have joined you. And I kind of know that you're doing a very good job. I kind of know that you're trying really hard, and it is important for you to get this as much support as I can give. And since you came to my channel, you came to my live stream, it I had to come, bro. So yeah.
So yeah, thank you so much. Please like and subscribe, and please like and subscribe Piyush by Vice and otherwise. Sorry, yeah, I
Yeah,
have
it's
to
okay,
get
bro.
used to hang on it. So thank you so much, and let's the things get rolling. Thank you. Have a
Yeah,
good day.
yeah. Thank you, bro.
Thank you.